cooking up a little dish that's a really simple dish. I bought these from, I think I bought them from Sainsbury's or Aldi or one of those supermarkets, and it's mussels in a garlic butter. Garlic butter? Yes, it's mussels in a garlic butter. Cooked mussels. So these are brilliant when you buy them already in a pack like this. And let's just open this pack. Ta-da! There they are. They're in an airtight sealed pack to keep them as fresh as possible from when they're, do we say picked out the ocean, or these might have been grown on farms? I'm sure it says on there. Oh yeah, rope grown, those ones are. Rope grown, so of course the mussels attached to the rope. And generally they grow them on farms to get a mass production, but some of those farms are in the ocean, in seawater, to get that natural flavour and also the natural goodness, like they call it the plantain, the plant, that stuff that they eat in the ocean. I'm not a marine biologist, but they try and get it to be as natural as possible. Oh. So I'm just going to knock up some mussels. I want mussel. And I'm just going to throw in some other ingredients into it, really, which will include some yellow pepper and some red pepper. It will also include some beautiful chestnut mushrooms. I also had this little piece of onion left as well. I don't know, can you see what I'm chopping? Here, let's have a look. Try that. So I've got yellow pepper, I've got some red pepper, I've got some mushrooms, got this onion that I'm chopping, which really needs to go in with the celery so it cooks up nice to start with. And we only want this to be fine onion in this dish. We don't want thick pieces of onion, we just want fine onion. So I'm just going to try and cut this down as fine as we can, considering it all fell apart because it was only a little piece there. And then what I'm going to do is just go back over that and give it all a good chop. So this is a spinach and ricotta tortellini. Spinach and ricotta tortellini. So I already had that pack half open, or should I say Steve did. So I just wanted to reuse that. I'm just going to throw that onion in there because we just want the onion to cook up first. The tip for that is always put your onion in first, unless you want that crunch and firiness of the onion, and that is completely down to you. I did have a chef recently telling me that the onion should always go in first, but actually it depends what you want to do with your dish. If you want something a little bit spicier and you want a bit more of the al dente style crunch, don't put it in first, save it till later on in the dish. But generally, if you want to soften it up and lose some of that harshness of an onion, then throw it in the pan first and just cook that down. In the bottom of that pan, I put some light olive garlic oil and a splash of chili oil in there as well, just to give it a bit of an extra edge when we throw this in. I might throw in a touch more chili in there. We'll just let that celery. I love cooking with celery. I always say this, celery is an amazing dish to cook with. Cap on, there we are. Oh, that's come off. Oh, that's a lovely cap. That's different. So I'm going to add a bit of this sparkling New Zealand Sauvignon. So I've chopped up some red and yellow peppers. I'm just putting them in before the mushrooms because, again, they're a little bit harder, although we want those difference in textures in there. Now I'm going to throw this mushroom in as well. There you are, that's looking great in there. Tomato is a tomato that's obviously fully ripened, and then the only place it can go from soft is softer. That's generally what happens, and they fall apart and start to go rotten. So I always like to buy my tomatoes so they've got a firmness to them, and that firmness will then ripen into something a little bit softer. It could take, depending on how firm they are, it could take a couple of days, it could take a few days before them to start to turn. But for me, that's much better as opposed to buying some that as soon as you take them out the fridge, they've already gone really squidgy because you bought them soft. So I've got this pasta that I bought earlier on. I got out the fridge earlier on. Stephen already had half a portion of it. And this is a spinach and ricotta tortellini. And you buy these already, it's already done in the supermarket. And all you need to do is let them soak in some hot water for 4 or 5 minutes. So I'm just going to boil the kettle. Hey, there we are. I'm going to pour some extra water in. And that's just going to start to cook there, or heat through, because it's already cooked, and that's the great thing about it. Now I'm going to open up these lovely mussels. So here we are, we've got those lovely vegetables in there, all those colours, look. And then I'm just going to pour in these mussels and that sauce. So you've got the garlic in there, you've got the cream in there. Listen to that, it sounds like the ocean, doesn't it? And then I'm just going to do something else. So we've poured that in there, it's got that lovely sauce in there. And of course the importance here is we want to get the heat through and heat them up properly. So that's what they're going to do on their milk in there. And we're going to wash out what's in there. Does anybody else do that? The same as doing it with a jar, some do it with water. We just want to get those lovely bits of sauce and garlic and things that are in there. Throw that in at the same time as well. Right, I'm just going to add that fresh soured cream in there as well, just to thicken that up a bit, because I've added a few other ingredients in there. That's cooking in nicely now. And we just want to bring the heat through those mussels. We've got the pasta soaking there. This is going to be quite a wet dish. And when I say wet, I mean like juicy, lots of sauce with it. I can smell that, it's very garlicky. I can really smell the garlic in there. And I haven't added any extra garlic except for that little spray, little splash of garlic oil. Take those out. Put them back in the fridge, keep them nice and fresh. And then these are it's coming up towards being complete. So what I'm going to do now, I'm just going to get this pasta. So we've done that, so I'm just going to drain out some of that water. And then I'm just going to pour it over, cook it in with a sauce and the fish. Just to get it all to mix in with those flavours. So this almost is like somebody mentioned earlier on about a paella. So obviously you can use clams or mussels or other bits of fish, squid in a paella. And this is not too dissimilar really, but I'm just cooking up the vegetables and then throwing in the mussels and some pasta in with it as well. And if you could smell it, if it was smell-o-vision, you would smell the richness of the wine and the garlic coming through. And I'm probably just going to serve this up. We've got the fish as well, the protein, the pasta. Not too much pasta as well, so it's not too late with the carbs at this time of the evening. And now I'm just going to turn that off. I think that's got enough heat in there. Right, I'm just going to serve this up now. So we're going to have all these beautiful juices. Let's just put that down. It's not quite the BBC, is it? So you can just see how this is serving up on here as you put it down onto the plate. The juice is coming through. Got all these beautiful bits of fish. The mussels there. We've got the celery, we've got the peppers, we've got the mushroom in there, a little bit of tomato in there. That is a pretty big portion, but this will also not be too heavy on the gut as well, because there's a lot of veg space here. And of course the fish, the mussels. I'm just going to serve up all of this. Normally I leave some left in the pan, but once you take the shells out, obviously it will shrink down the size of that dish. I think that's it. I think we've got there. That's looking good. And then we're just going to decorate a little bit naughty. But mussels are quite a strong fish, so it's all right to put a bit of cheese over the top, like so. And we'll do the same here. A bit like so. And then we'll just... And there we have it. Look at that. Is that something you'd like to be tucking into right now?